In a small town, tucked away in the hills, there was an old mansion that no one dared speak of. It had stood empty for decades, its windows shattered, its iron gates rusted, and its walls swallowed by ivy and time. The locals avoided it, some saying it was cursed, others claiming it was haunted, but no one really knew the truth. One evening, Emma, a curious and adventurous young woman new to the town, was sitting at her kitchen table when an envelope appeared on her doorstep. No return address. The handwriting on the front was elegant, precise, almost too perfect. The letter inside was short, yet its message sent a chill down her spine. Come to the mansion at midnight. You will find what you seek. There was no explanation, no signature, nothing more than the haunting invitation. Emma thought it could be a prank, but the words gnawed at her. The mansion had always intrigued her, with its desolate grandeur and the stories whispered by the villagers. What was it about the mansion? What was the truth it promised? That night, she couldn't shake the thought of the letter. At midnight, she found herself standing at the base of the hill that led to the mansion. The air was thick with fog, and the moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow over everything. She hesitated at the wrought iron gates, but then pushed them open, their rusted hinges squealing like... She walked up the long, winding path, her footsteps muffled by the thick carpet of leaves. As she reached the grand front doors, they swung open with a creak, as if expecting her. She stepped inside. The mansion was cold, darker than she imagined, with walls lined with faded portraits and heavy curtains that blocked out the moonlight. The air was thick with dust and age, the scent of old wood and decay. As she walked further into the heart of the house, the silence pressed in on her. There was no one here, or so it seemed. Suddenly, Emma heard it, the soft scratching sound like nails dragging across the floorboards. She froze, looking around, but saw no one. "Welcome," a voice whispered from the shadows. Emma's heart skipped. There, at the end of a dimly lit hallway, stood a figure. Its face was hidden, cloaked in darkness. It beckoned for her to come closer. "Who are you?" Emma asked, her voice trembling. The figure stepped forward, its eyes glimmering faintly in the dark. "I'm the one who called you here. You came for the truth, didn't you?" Emma's pulse quickened, but she nodded. She didn't know why, but she felt compelled to follow. The figure moved aside, revealing a large, heavy wooden door. Slowly, it creaked open, and a cold breeze swept through the room beyond. "Come in." Emma's heart raced as she stepped into the room. It was large and ornate, with high ceilings and a massive, dusty mirror against one wall. The figure stepped to the side, motioning for her to look into it. "What is this?" Emma asked, a sense of dread creeping up her spine. The figure didn't answer. It just stood there, watching her. Tentatively, Emma approached the mirror. At first, her reflection appeared normal, a young woman with wide eyes and a nervous expression. But as she gazed deeper, something began to change. Her reflection twisted, her face growing paler, her eyes darkening to black voids, and her lips curling into a sinister grin. Emma recoiled, stepping back. Her breath caught in her throat. What was happening? "That's the truth," the figure whispered, its voice cold and distant. "You're not who you think you are." The reflection in the mirror didn't flinch. It simply continued to grin at her, its eyes now glowing with an unnatural light. Emma felt a chill run through her as she realized her reflection wasn't just mocking her. It was alive, moving, watching her every